Ladies and gentlemen, we are now also hearing from the families of Louis Brandeis and Bertha and Edward Rose, the founders of the museum. We're also hearing from many students, one of which, before I get to the Brandeis family, I would like to quote today. This is a young man from the class of 2010, whose name is on the website, but I won't use it here. I am a member of the Brandeis class of 2010 and have had several memorable experiences at the Rose, including the privilege of borrowing a work from their collection to hang in my dorm room. That collection, by the way, comes from the family of John Lee, our board chair, Mickey and Herbert Lee, donated to the Rose in the 1970s, specifically for the purpose of giving quality art to students for their dorm rooms. He goes on, I'm angered by the concept of selling art and closing a museum to make up a temporary shortfall. And by the way, in which the university's administration, and by the way the university's administration is going about it, this is not the university I chose to attend. This, to me, is the most significant, in a way, information that we've been receiving. It comes from a great niece of Louis Brandeis. It's a very personal letter that she has allowed us to share. She removed some of the more personal aspects. All of this is on our website, which you can access. She says, Dear Professor Reinhartz, I am writing to you both as a member of the Brandeis family and as an historian of medieval Europe. It is well known that Justice Brandeis assisted the law school in Louisville and that he and Alice are buried there. But the law school was not the initial focus of his efforts. Instead, at the top of his agenda were the fine arts. He articulated the centrality in an academic context of the arts and their study in correspondence to several family members in the 1920s. On October 20th, 1924, he wrote to Alfred, this woman's grandfather, wrote to Alfred's daughter, Fanny Brandeis, about the responsibilities he hoped she would assume. Dear Fanny, Louis Brandeis wrote, until the University of Louisville shall be equipped to promote the study of the fine arts and music, one of its most important functions must remain unperformed. But it is not too early to begin now to dream what might be and to plan what shall be. Moreover, any concrete steps toward realization taken now, however modest they may be, will, as overacts, manifest the purpose of the university and may be the means of securing from others needed cooperation. I hope you will care to do some of this planning and will undertake the small beginnings which I want to suggest. Second, I propose the beginning of an art collection. Living among things of beauty is a help toward culture and the life worthwhile. But the function of a university in respect to the fine arts is not limited to promoting understanding and appreciation. It should strive to awaken the slumbering creative instinct, to encourage its exercise and development, to stimulate production. This great niece writes, Louis Brandeis worked behind the scenes to encourage Hattie Speed of Louisville to create an art museum in memory of her husband for the University of Louisville. Two of the earliest donations to the resulting Speed Art Museum were from Louis and Alice Brandeis, an extraordinary antique Japanese lacquer box and painting that had been given to them by the Speeds. She goes on, thus, as I hope the above makes apparent, by assessing the art collection as merely a disposable financial asset rather than as the culturally and intellectually valuable ensemble that it is, your university's trustees and your administration have proposed to act not only without full appreciation of core objectives of any university, but against those that Justice Brandeis himself most actively fostered. I therefore urge you to abandon any plans of selling any portion whatsoever of the art collection of the Rose Art Museum or of diminishing its role. With respect to the administration and the board of Brandeis University, I say you are not on the side of history here, not even on the side of Brandeis's own history. Folks, I would like to thank you all for coming this evening. The purpose of this evening is to give you a voice, actually, if you put up with a few of us who have a few things to say. So please, we have a microphone set up here, which will be available for your comments, which we certainly encourage and welcome. We have two speakers with us tonight. Remy Targloff, who is a full professor of English at Brandeis University, and Steve Miller, a New York-based artist who received his first full-scale museum exhibition in the United States here at the Rose Art Museum. Parenthetically, others who received their first U.S. Art Museum exhibition at the Rose Art Museum were Frank Stella, Louise Nevelson, Kiki Smith, Dana Schutz, Alexis Rockman, and on and on. Remy Targloff, please.